Hello, Flosstube. My camera's wobbling. Hello, Flosstube. Today is Saturday, August 17th. Excuse me. My name is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and this is my channel about cross-stitch. Today, like I said, today is Saturday, August 17th, Saturday morning. Tomorrow, August 18th, is my mother's birthday. And this past Wednesday, the 14th, was my sister's birthday, my sister Eve's birthday. So we have two birthdays, well, three birthdays in August, because the 30th is my nephew's birthday. So it's a month of celebrations. Anyway, tomorrow is my mom's birthday, and it's also my my former next door neighbor. When I lived in Little Rock, in my second apartment, my next door neighbor, Halbert, his birthday is on the 18th as well. So he doesn't watch this channel. I don't think he even knows I have a video channel, because, I didn't have one back then. But, happy birthday, Halbert. And happy birthday, Mom. So yeah, it's a month of celebrations. So I have a finish and a new start, and sort of, and several whips, a couple whips. I didn't do a wide variety of stitching this past week, but I did some, different things. So let's start. It's actually a new start and finish, all in one. Pretty simple. But I had talked about wanting to do this this donut even design for my nephew, who is going away at the beginning of September, going to school down in Tucson, and my niece is going away at the end of this month, on the 31st. She's going to Boston. But anyway, so I kind of wanted to do something because it's my nephew's birthday on the 30th, and I didn't know if I would have enough time and whatever. So, anyway, I was at Joanne's on the 31st. Last Sunday. And while I was there, I bought this little bracelet thing for my nephew. I know some guys wear them. I don't know. But I got the dark one. It has little snaps on it, so you can snap it on your wrist, But I found this little Pac-Man design online on Pintrest or something. And there's actually some cherries that go with this design. There's the ghosts and the Pac-Man and some cherries over here. But there wasn't enough room on this, so I put the ghosts and I put that little Pac-Man on there. My nephew's really into video games, and this is kind of, I was looking for a design that would, something that would be appropriate, but would be small enough to fit, on this little bracelet thing, because it's not very, very big, a very, very big area to stitch on. And the interesting thing is that when I worked on this, I worked on it this way so just to do the rows and everything else. And what I ended up doing actually was crossing it this way. I usually do this is probably backwards for what you're looking at, but I usually do lower left to upper right, and then upper right to lower left, across, my stitches. And so that's how I did this, except that I did it this way. So when you hold it this way, the X's are backwards. They're instead of, there. So yeah. But, you can't tell when you look at it. It's only like if you were, scrutinizing it and everything that you could tell. And I didn't really even notice it until I got down to this little Pac-Man thing. I kept thinking, wait, did I do them all that way? And so I looked very closely at it, and yes, I did them all that way. But, but they came out kind of fun. It's kind of fun. So I did this. I started on Sunday night, I think, and I finished it. I don't know what, Monday night, Tuesday, maybe Tuesday at the most. I don't remember what it was. It was late at night, but I did that. And then another thing. Oh, and so while I was so I went to Joanne's on Sunday, and I went to Hobby Lobby later in the week, just kind of for fun. It's always a mistake to do that because you end up spending money that you really don't need to spend. But but I did get another little card of needle minders there, and these are this pink one has a word on it, says handmade with love, and it's an embroidery hoop. It's kind of turned sideways, but it goes like this. And there's a spool of thread, and there's a pair of little stork scissors. This one I keep knocking. I've knocked it off this card. It doesn't hold on very strongly to the magnet. Yeah, they have these little covered button magnets. And it wants to fall off a lot, but it's kind of cute. And did I mention that I bought this one? I don't remember if I bought this at Joanne's or at Hobby Lobby, but whatever. But one thing I bought at Hobby Lobby that I've been thinking about for a while, and I thought, well, I could make that. I know there's patterns out there to make needle books and blah blah blah. But I bought this little needle book thing, and it's got and I bought some needles. These are 24s. And I never really paid attention to needles and things like that. I bought when I first started, I bought kits, and they came a lot of kits, and they came with needles and whatever. And so if I happened to buy a pattern that did not have a needle in it, I had a collection of needles. And at one point, I think I bought a package that had several different size needles. I have some sharp needles, like sewing needles, and then I had some tapestry type needles. And so anyway, I've got a whole bunch of needles, a big bunch of them, but I don't know what size is what. I mean, I have some thicker needles and some thinner needles, and I think I even have some petites that are very tiny. And so I want to sort them out, the tapestry needles, and put them in here. And so for now, I've just got the top of this needle thing in here, so that I know these are 24s. And then I have the needle that I used on that bracelet thing. I have it back here in the back. It's a little bit on the bigger side, and I chose it because that bracelet it has those big holes in it, and it calls for 3 strands of floss. And so I got this one because it's bigger, and it went through those holes very easily, but with that not too easily. But it had a bigger eye for the 3 threads to go in. But this is the needle. I think this is the one I used when I made the bookmark for my brother, and the eye of the needle kind of discolored the white. It's kind of like everything is kind of blackish, and so I my sister had told me at the time, she was like, well, you should throw that needle away because it's just gonna ruin your floss, it discolor your floss. And I actually noticed when I was doing the yellow on here, not so much while in the area that is stitched, but in the sort of leftover area of the thread, and it was kind of a good sized piece of thread, but it was discolored from being in the eye of the needle. So this needle is in jail right now. It's in the back all by itself because I don't want to use it. But I want to go through my other needles and sort them out by size and sort of decide which ones are to put like sizes together or whatever. But but anyway, so I bought this little needle book thingy to keep my needles in. And maybe someday I'll buy a pattern for a needle book and, put other needles in there. Anyway, another thing I worked on was this Hummingbird bookmark that I talked about before. So this is the package that it came with. And it's a little kit, little mini kit. It came with the threads and everything except like this backing fabric that's in the picture here. But it came with the material. It came with what is it? Monaco even weave 28 count, and it came with a needle, and the floss was like just a wad of different colors, and so you had to go through and differentiate. And I was doing okay until I got to the there's medium mocha, dark mocha, beige brown, light beaver gray, and dark beaver, very light beaver gray, dark beaver gray, and beaver brown. And so some of the lighter browns or whatever were kind of easy to differentiate, but when it came to the darker ones, it was a little hard, even under the best light. But anyway, so I finished I finished the frame, and you can kind of tell the difference between this brown and this brown, kind of, but it's kind of hard to tell. It's hard to see, and then so I finished the two shades of brown that make up this frame, and then the rest, the little breaks in the frame are the hummingbirds, and the flowers, sort of going through the cutting through the frame here and there. So so that's what these little gaps are. So I started on this avocado green part, and there's some that's in the body of the hummingbirds. Very little, but so it's kind of a little confettied here and there. But so it's coming along. This little bookmark thing. It needs to be ironed. It's so wrinkled from being folded up in that kit. But then I worked on. Oh yeah. I worked on the Gnome Mrs Corney that I did before. So when I started it, I had just done the one little tulip thing, and I had started on another one. And then, so I did. Sorry, just a minute. I'm having a little avalanche right here. Sorry. And. Trying not to make a mess. Okay. So, like I said, I worked on the Gnome Mrs Corney, and I had started on the little tulips, and to give myself a basis to count from. And then had done 3 of them. Got to the 4th one, and was like counting from the center again, and they're not all exactly the same, and I had just assumed that they were all, and they're like, because of their position, I guess, some of them are like, 10 stitches over, and some of them are 11 stitches over, or something like that, before they start. And some of them are on the 3rd one down from the center, and some of them are on the 4th one from the side. Anyway. So I figured it out and redid the ones I had to redo. But I think they're all correct now. I hope they are, because if they're not, so sad, too bad. But then, so I did the green leaves on this. So I just decided to do just one at a time for now. But so I did the green leaves, and I did the gnome's hat and there are mushrooms here. And there's going to be a snail on top of here. And this is his face and his ears. But I didn't do his body yet. He has like a white beard. And I think that's what I'm going to do next, just so I can get it out of the way and do his body next. I might do his hands, because his hands are right here beside these mushrooms or whatever. It just depends on what's easier to count. But so I did a lot of work on this gnome business. So I have to finish this, and then it repeats all the way around. And then there's like, I think, a little border thing around it. And then the back half of it. And the back half is going to be hard because it's just that border area. So I might have to. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, because the middle is just a big blank open space of nothing, and there's a little design in each corner. And I don't know the easiest way to do that, because there's nothing in the middle, because that's where the button's going to be. And that dragon Biscornu, that's kind of another one of these by Tinymodernist, is kind of the same way. There's nothing in the middle, and the back part of it is also, like just a border and nothing in the middle. And so I'm going to have to do a lot of clever measuring and all that business. And the other thing I worked on was actually a new start of sorts, and that's my Blackwork Angels. So I started this one. I took out the little measuring thread I was using to find the corner, but so this is doesn't look like much. She's kind of kneeling down. This is her little gown. It'll continue here, and her arm, her other arm here. This is the one. Excuse me. It's hard to see in this picture. Let me see if I get the right one first. Where is it? This one here, yeah. This last one here, she's playing the harp. So right now I've just got the line on her dress, and I've got her foot, this one foot, and I'm working on this front part of her dress, and this sleeve. I've got this sleeve done here, and her head. So that's here. I really like these Blackwork Angels. They're just so very. I was looking at. Oops, that's the wrong side. So I've got 2, and I'm working on 3 of the 8 that are here. So I think I might be able to fit 2 more on there, on this side. I was thinking 4 and 4, but I might do a 5th one here, and then I'll just do 3. In this area down below, and then I'll have leftover material for something else. But anyway, so yeah, so I did. I talked about before my dilemma with the stars, because I had done them in black, and they're supposed to be done in gold, like all the other stuff, and I decided to do them in black because I kind of like the way they look. They show up better, I think, in black. And, they would look more like stars, I guess, if they were gold. And I thought about doing, just some, like 1 or 2 threads or something in there to make them sparkle a little bit, like using I have some DMC metallic. I don't have a gold color. There's a cat. A gold color of like blending filament, or what it calls for is gold braid, chronic gold braid. And I decided not to use that because there's so much of the gold color, and I didn't want to be, fighting with the chronic to do like, excuse me, there's a cat making messes. Hey, excuse me just a second. Just gonna have to put up with a naughty cat because I can't reach him where he is. Anyway, there's so much like the back of her gown here is like all done in gold, and I just thought it's easier to use the gold color. This thread that's over here it's a DMC DMC gold color that was in the instructions as an alternative to the chronic. Anyway, so I have a DMC gold metallic thread, and I could go in and do like just go over the black with a single thread of the gold or whatever, but I don't think I'm even going to do that. I think I'm just going to leave them black, and like I said, I kind of like the way they look in black, and then just do the halos, and the harp is all gold and the strings are so I think I'm just going to leave it at that and just do the stars in black the way they are. Anyway, yeah, so that's the third Blackwork angel, the third of 8. And oh yeah, this little heart needle minder is again from my friend Sharon. She sent me that the angel and a lot of other things. So yeah, needle minders. So then I worked last night just a little tiny bit on this Teresa Kogut Freebie, the ones you love. Oh, I have it sideways. Sorry. And I worked just a little bit more on the lettering here. I was pretty sleepy, so I didn't get a whole lot done. But so I finished. Last time I had just done the one leg of the N, so I just I finished the N and started on the E over here, and didn't get much else done on this. This is the one with the giant snowman, so I'd have to sit down and do a lot of work on that, so I haven't. I had mentioned at the beginning that tomorrow's my mother's birthday, and on Monday she's having a surgical procedure. It's a outpatient thing, but we're hoping that she's been having some pains in her legs, and this is sort of a procedure to hopefully alleviate that pain. She's having one leg done on Monday, and then the other one will be done shortly. But so we're hoping that she's get some relief from that procedure, and that it looks good. But speaking of pain, I hadn't mentioned this before, but for the last couple of weeks, I guess since the end of July, I've been having some pain like in my arm, in my bicep or shoulder, whatever, and mentioned it to my doctor, my primary care doctor, on the 5th, and he sent me for physical therapy. That actually didn't hurt too much, but extending my arm out to the side or the front, certain kind of movements like that are kind of painful. And what I'm worried about is that I'm like somehow doing something in my cross stitching position, because a lot of that caused it, that brought it on, because I do a lot of almost all of my stitching lying in my bed here, and I keep telling myself, well, I should should sit up in my chair or something like that, and but it's just easier to lie in my bed and do it. I've got all my stuff, because if I go to my chair, because of the cats, I can't leave stuff on the chair that I have there, and otherwise I would have to cart whatever I'm using out, to say the living room or whatever, and so it would just, I have to like carry everything out there and carry everything back, and anyway, it's a long story, but so I'm thinking that maybe my positioning on the bed or whatever, where I use it, is not ideal. And this is the side of my body that was affected by the little stroke that I had a few years ago, and so this is my weaker arm, if you will. Like when it comes to like writing stuff by hand. When I went to the physical therapist's office, it was my first visit there, so I had a lot of paperwork to fill out and all this stuff, and just it takes me forever because I can't just go choop, 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 write everything out. I have to I have to be very deliberate, and cursive writing is actually harder for me than printing, because with cursive writing, I guess you have to have a kind of flow thing, and that's really hard for me. And then like you have to, on these forms, you have to sign your name 1,000 times, at the bottom of every page, and at the top you have to print your name, and the further along I go, the harder it gets. And anyway, so I don't know if the way I stitch is somehow aggravating my arm, and I'm trying to like do the exercises that the physical therapist guy gave me, which are very good. They're I can already feel some difference in it. So I'm trying to do that, and trying to assess if the position that I'm in when I'm stitching or whatever is not good or is aggravating to my arm, and if sitting up and stitching would be better for me overall or not, or whatever, so it probably would be better for me, but I just it's something that I'm having to deal with right now. So anyway, I still have a lot of projects, and I guess what I need to do is really take a look at everything and assess where I am, and see what I can get done. It feels like I'm far away from Christmas, but it's gonna be here very soon. And I keep looking at my sort of non-Christmas projects and going, well, what about that? I want to work on that too. But I want to work on things for Christmas to get them done as soon as possible, so that I'm not scrambling to finish things that I want to give as gifts, or things that I want to do in time for Christmas or whatever. I don't want to do them at the last minute, but I'm sort of focused a lot right now on Christmas and Christmas related projects, Christmas or winter related projects, and I just don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get everything done in time. In other news that I'm it's cross stitch related, I promise, is that I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, that I'm wanting to do something with my sisters, to come up with some way that the three of us, can do something. And my older sister, who is an artist, and she's done paintings and illustrations and stuff like that. So she worked on a little design that we're trying to convert to cross stitch, and I know that many people use something like PC stitch, but I'm kind of looking at that and other programs. I know there's some free stuff out there. PC stitch, you have to, excuse me, my cat is trying to destroy everything. Sorry. But PC Stitch, you have to pay for. It's like $49, $50. And I don't know what. And my sister came across one that is kind of sort of like a subscription service. Like my cat, I don't know what he's destroying. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. My cat was trying to destroy everything. Anyway, my sister came up with a cute little picture. It involves Santa Claus. As I don't want to say too much right now, but it's very, very cute. It's a great picture. But then we've been trying various cross-stitch programs to see, ways to convert it to cross-stitch. And right now we have a version of it, and I'm going to see if I can find some fabric that will and test stitch this pattern to see if it works the way we think it's going to work. Like I said, my sister came across a one free program that it's like, this is the free version, and if you want to do such and such, then it would cost you X amount every month, and then if you want to do such and such, it would cost you X, And I don't know that I like that, because it's kind of a subscription you pay every month, something. It's not something, excuse me, cat, snuggle, don't do that, please. Go over there, please. It's not something that you can just buy outright and say, this is mine now, I can do whatever. It's something you'd have to pay every month, and I don't like that. What a lot of the programs are designed for is like if you have a photograph of, say, your grandkids, and you want to make that into a cross stitch, it converts it, photographs or whatever. But PC Stitch I like, because you can start from scratch on your own and draw something, whatever, do a design in that. And right now I have there's a sort of a free download demo mode or whatever, so you can practice and see what it looks like. You can't save anything or print anything until you pay for the program. But so I don't know. I might have to stick a crowbar in my wallet, and my beleaguered wallet, and buy that, unless there's other programs out there. I have a couple on my tablet, but I haven't looked to see what they do exactly. And they're more like, I guess, if you can read a pattern, like you can download and read a pattern on your tablet. So I think it's what they're designed for, rather than designing stuff on your tablet. I don't know yet. But this one, but PC Stitch is one that I think I'm going to end up with. But for now, I have, like I said, this one free program version that I'm gonna see if it works. I'm not real happy with it. It has it's in order to the one version of it was very small, and it's kind of impossible to see. So I guess the next size up, it's print in several pages, and I think in this free version you can't mark like the center of the pattern, and so that's something that it's problematic. So I'm not real happy with that program. If I were a stitcher, a customer buying this program, from somebody, buying this PDF, from somebody, I would be kind of like, this is not really great. The pattern is nice, but because it's this free version of the software, you can't do certain things, and so it's kind of limited. And so yeah, it's still an ongoing work in progress, and so I don't want it to show the pattern off too much just yet because, like I said, I'm still seeing if it's what's possible and everything else. But it's coming along. And so I would be interested if people want to comment on what program they use to design stuff or whatever. Yeah. When last summer, was it last summer? Yeah, that I worked on my little sampler thing, Come the Fount of Every Blessing. And I had a couple people tell me, that, oh, you should sell this pattern. And I kind of hesitated because, like I said, I borrowed the alphabet font from a book of alphabets that I have, and I don't know how kosher that is to sell it, and then I would like to, if I did, sell the pattern, I would want to redesign certain things, and that means stitching it again, and it's pretty big, so, but that's a possibility because there's another hymn thing that I want to do. I haven't gotten it all, and but it's sort of percolating in the back of my brain right now. But so that's another, and if I do that, then maybe I'll have a series, and of hymns or something like that. I don't know. if I have some other ideas, I may go ahead and do that. So keep watching this space. I'm still trying to find ways to incorporate both of my sister's strengths and whatever abilities I have for the three of us to do something, that all of us, some way for all of us to contribute, that in ways that you, the public out there, might be interested in, whether it's things to buy, things to make, things to whatever, between the three of us. Anyway, so that's coming along. That idea is coming along. So hopefully then next week I'll have more to talk about in terms of more whips or something. We'll see. So I think that's it. That's everything. And so I think I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.